Good morning, children. Welcome to Mary Lucas School and College online teaching for the academic year 2021 and 22. I am Mrs. J. Frank and I am going to teach you English literature. Before we begin with the lesson, children, I would like you to tell me why we study English literature. So the reason why we study English literature is that studying English literature opens up a world of inspiration and creativity while also developing skills that are essential for today's global environment. It is a chance to discover how literature makes sense of the world through stories, poems, novels and plays. So today's first lesson is a poetry, children. It's a poem about, and the name of the poem is Somebody's Mother. The writer is Mary Doe Bryan. And in this poem, as the name suggests, the poet is writing about somebody's mother. So before I begin, I would just like to show you few words which will come in the poem as I will read. These are the few words and meanings which you will come across in the poem. So before that, I would like you to just see these words and know the meaning of it. Ragged, worn out, heeded, paid attention to, timid, lacking confidence or courage, grey, aging, hailing, calling out, amid, in the midst of, throng, crowd, meek, docile, merry troop, happy group, content, happy and satisfied, gayest, happiest, laddie, lad or boy. So these are the few words which you will come across in the poem as I recite it, children. Pay attention and try to learn the pronunciations correctly. You can open your book as I recite it. You can also say it. So this poem, Somebody's Mother, it is a heartwarming poem that shows humanity is not dead and still exists and can come from unknown sources in the midst of indifferences and apathy. So as I read each stanza, listen carefully. The woman was old and ragged and grey and bent with the chill of the winter's day. The street was wet with the recent snow, and the woman's feet were aged and slow. She stood at the crossing and waited long, alone, uncared for, amid the throng of human beings who passed her by, nor heeded the glance of her anxious eyes. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow pipe white and deep. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way, nor offered a helping hand to her, so meek, so timid, afraid to stir. Lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should crowd it down in the slippery street. At last came one of the merry troop, the gayest laddie of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you cross if you wish to go. Her aged hand on a strong young arm she placed and so, without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were firm and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, and at his young heart happy and well content. She's somebody's mother, boys, you know, for all she's aged and poor and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend a hand to help my mother, you understand. If ever she's poor and old and grey, when her own dear boy is far away. And somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God, be kind to the little boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. Now this is the content of the poem which I have recited. Now children, I am going to explain the poem stanza wise to you. Please listen carefully. The woman was old and ragged and grey and bent with the chill of the winter's day. The street was wet with the recent snow and the woman's feet was aged and slow. The first stanza is telling us about the physical appearance of the old lady who is standing beside the road to cross it. Over here, as we see, as we as we heard the stanza, the old lady is very weak. She has a bent back, and it's a winter evening. It's almost becoming evening, and there is fresh fall of snow all over the street, and that is why the street is wet all around and it's all white. And the woman, she is standing alongside the road to cross it. She stood at the crossing and waited long, alone, uncared for, amid the throng of human beings who passed her by, nor heeded the glance of her anxious eyes. As she is standing along, the street is very busy with all people going here and there. There is a lot of crowd on the street, but nobody is paying attention towards her. Nobody is even looking at her, and she is standing there with a hope that somebody will notice her and give her a helping hand to cross the road. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. By the time she is standing, it has become almost evening, and there is a school nearby where she is standing, and the school gets over. And after the school gets over, the school boys, they come out of the school all in a very happy and cheerful mood with their friends along. They are talking and laughing and playing with the ball of snow over there, but nobody is even looking at that old lady who is standing on the roadside. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. Now offered a helping hand to her, so meek, so timid, afraid to hear, to stare. So again the woman is still standing there. She is old and weak. Her feet is trembling because it's quite chilly and she is feeling cold. But as the poem is saying, that still nobody is paying any heed towards her, why she is standing, or nobody is asking her what is the reason she is standing for so long. Lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should crowd her down in the slippery street. And as it is getting evening, the street is getting crowded because the people are coming and going. The street is there's a lot of people all around the street. The street is getting crowded. It is getting crowded, and with all the horses and carriages coming and going, at last came one of the merry troop, the gayest laddie of all the group. So among that crowded place, the crowded street where she is standing, one of a young boy, one lad over here, he notices this old lady who is standing for so long. So he comes towards her. He paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you cross if you wish to go. Then this boy, he notices this old lady and he comes to her, and in a very low voice he whispers and he asks her that if you wish to cross the road, I will help you. Her aged hand on a strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm. So when she heard this, the old lady, she was really very happy, and she caught hold of that young boy's arm. He was tall and strong, and she placed her hand without hurting him. She was very loving and gentle when she placed her hand on that boy. He guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were firm and strong. And then when she caught the boy's arm, he started walking with the old lady slowly. And at that time he was feeling very happy and proud of himself. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. So when he helped the lady to cross the road, he went back to his group of friends, and at that time the feeling which he was having in his heart was that he was very happy and satisfied. He was well content. He was very happy because he was, in his heart, he was feeling that he has done something good. He has helped an old lady. And why did he do so? She is somebody's mother, boys, you know, for all she is aged and poor and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend a hand to help my mother, you understand. If ever she is poor and old and grey, when her own dear boy is far away. So when after helping the lady cross the road, when the boy comes back to his friends, he tells them, you know, this is somebody's mother, boys, and she is very old and aged and slow. And you know why I have helped her? I have helped her thinking that someday I also have a mother, she is also old, and if by chance, if she needs help and I am not available at that time, so as I have helped this old lady whom I don't know, I have no relation with her, in the same way, God is going to put in some other boy's, young boy's heart to help my mother out. So that is why I have helped her with the hope that someday my mother will also be helped in the same manner. And somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to the noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. And when the old lady, maybe it was late evening when she reached her home, she must have had her dinner, and after that she sat for her prayer, night prayer. And then in that prayer she prayed for that boy who had helped her, that young boy who had helped her. She prayed to God that God bless that noble boy, that kind-hearted boy who was somebody's son. Naturally, that boy was also somebody's son. He must also be having a mother. So she prayed for that boy, asking God for his blessing. And as the boy was very good and kind, she asked for the blessing upon the boy, who was definitely a mother's pride and joy, because as he was very good, he had a kind attitude and kind heart. So she was very happy to bless the boy and ask for God's blessing upon him. So children, if we are good, if we have a kind heart and a good attitude, a helping nature, then definitely God helps us out also when we are in need. So always just learn this, keep it in your mind, that we should not be selfish but have a loving and caring heart towards each other. Maybe it may be in your family or friends or your colleagues. We should always have a loving and caring attitude towards each other, because ultimately it is God who feels happy, because God has created human beings in his own image. So he wants that human beings should also have his nature, that is helping and forgiving each other. So children, I hope you enjoyed this poem, and thank you so much, and bye bye till we meet next.